Fierce debate tonight over keeping your kids safe and whether you should do that by arming teachers. Good evening. I'm Ashley Kirkland.
And thanks a lot for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Mike Dardis. So the issue back in full focus following last week's deadly school shooting down in Texas. And tonight, both sides speaking out in this hearing that's about to end. The last speaker is going right now. So here's a live look at the state Senate hearing in Columbus. This is over a bill that would allow school workers to carry guns with just 20 hours of training. WLWT News 5's investigative reporter Todd Dyke spoke with both sides today. Hi, Todd.
Well, Mike, on one side, supporters who say a trained gun-carrying staff member can save lives. On the other, opponents who say more guns in schools is a recipe for disaster. All of this playing out against the backdrop of last week's shooting in Uvalde, Texas, which is energizing people in both camps. Among those who thinks it's not a smart move to make it easier for Ohio teachers to carry guns is 15-year-old Catherine Highland.
More guns in schools only increases the access that students have to guns. And I would know best, I'm a teenager, we get up to a lot of trouble, even when we don't mean to.
Highland testified before a state Senate committee today. The committee is considering a bill to cut the training hours for school staff to be certified to carry guns in a school from 700 to 20.
We were absolutely just sickened.
Michelle Mueller is part of a gun safety group called Moms Demand Action. She says having more teachers with more weapons would be a serious step backward for Ohio.
Our teachers are not, didn't sign up for this job to be sharpshooters. They will tell you in their own voice. They are there to educate our children.
Mueller says a better option is to expand background checks on gun buyers and to create a red flag law. Those are laws to keep guns out of the hands of people considered dangerous by loved ones and the legal system.
The things that we know for certain is when these events happen, in every school there are certain staff who are going to give up their lives to buy these kids a few more seconds of life.
Joe Eaton with Buckeye Firearms is a big proponent of making it simpler for educators to carry a gun. He says an armed teacher can make a difference if an active shooter suddenly appears.
Even if the staff is able to confront them, it changes their focus from the innocent people to the person confronting them, and that in and of itself saves lives. If teachers are willing to do that, we need to give them the opportunity to go home to their families at the end of the night also.
Now, the big change in training is because of a state Supreme Court ruling. The justices ruled last year because the General Assembly did not mandate specific requirements that teachers would have to have the same training as police. That's about 700 hours. The bill being debated today lowers that number to 20 hours. Todd Dykes, WLWT News 5.